It's a drip. Yeah.
All my friends pulled up for good vibes. We know that the goodbyes could mean gone too soon. We ain't tryna live forever. Just live it up. Baby, I know life's better when I'm with you. We ain't tryna live for, okay.
So last year I went to Hawaii during December 29th into this year, I think the 2nd. Thought I would kind of talk about my trip. It was an interesting one. It was a little bit hard to get there, but we made it in the end. While I sip on this mystery drink, let me know what you think it is in the comments, dear friends. I'll give you a hint, it's not milk. Or is it? Maybe that's a hint. Currently there's a COVID-19 travel-related restriction when traveling to Hawaii, so it took me about 3 COVID tests. So I went on a road trip with my family. We went to Utah, you know, we'd road trip there, had a great Christmas, and then I was like, I want to go to Hawaii on the 29th, and so I needed a COVID test 72 hours before the Hawaii trip. So I took my first COVID test in Utah, and you know, the results, it was from a Rite Aid, and it did not come back in time. And then I took my second COVID test at the airport, LAX, the day of my flight to Hawaii. The day of, like 5 hours before the last plane to Hawaii that day. The time frame is around 5 hours, give or take. So I hadn't booked a ticket yet, right? And the flight was at 6 o'clock. So the test results came in at 5:05. So it was already past the time of boarding. And so I had to go to the front desk. I was waiting in the LAX parking lot, ran to the front desk, booked my ticket, and then
Was Hawaii bound? Was Hawaii bound?
another setback. So once I got into the terminal, I, you know, had my little carry-on suitcase, but then the flight was delayed for an hour. I was like, okay, this is fine, like minor setback. Get onto the plane. The flight was then delayed again, and then I was like, okay, this is fine, just gonna wait in the plane. They were like, get off of the plane, we have to clean this plane. Waited patiently for another hour or so, and then finally, and even then I didn't believe I was gonna get to Hawaii until the plane freaking landed in Hawaii, and that was when I was like, aloha, I'm here. So COVID guidelines were very strict. We were each issued a QR code that we needed to present upon arrival in Hawaii, and everywhere that I went. Next day, next morning, it was time to go skydiving. It was very fun, it was very awesome. Here's some footage. It was my first time skydiving ever, and before I went skydiving, like the days leading up to it, when the tickets were already booked, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to Hawaii yet. Oh my god, like, what's falling out of the sky gonna be like? On the day of, when I went, I was absolutely fine. Like, up until the moment I was in the sky, I was like, I thought I was gonna be shaking. I looked down at my hands, they were still. I jumped out of the plane. The biggest feeling is honestly the wind. Everyone says this, the wind hitting your face, your ears kind of popping, and then I didn't really notice the view, honestly. Like, can I tell you what I saw? I don't know, maybe my body shut down a little bit, but like I didn't notice what was happening. You're just kind of free falling. You're like looking down, there's nowhere else to look, like your face is stuck here. Like, fun fact, we were the last dive of the last day of the year. That skydiving place was super safe, super friendly. They made jokes, you know, jokes about us dying. It was awesome. That was skydiving. Okay, the next day I was like, it's time to go surfing. I've never been surfing before. Oh god, I don't even have footage of that time because I didn't bring my phone. So you're gonna have to listen to me recount the story with no pictures. Use your imagination, okay? We booked some surfboards and ran out into the ocean, you know, thought it would be really fun. First of all, paddling out. I've never experienced such pain in my life. Halfway through, like, paddling out, I could barely feel my arms, and I think that was a bad sign because honestly the waves, there were no waves. Like, you know those white waves that you're supposed to surf? There were none. The wind was like, you know, like. Sign number 2 was probably when I was just trying to follow, you know, the people in front of me. Like, they kept chasing that wave. I kept trying to chase them. Couldn't quite catch up to them. And then I looked up and I looked back and the shore was like 5 miles away. Okay, I don't know how far it actually was, but it was like a speck. And then that's when I was like, oh poopy, I'm in some doo-doo. I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of this ocean. So then a lifeboat drove over, a guy on a jet ski. He was like, looks like you're a little bit far out and you might need some help. I was like, you think? I was paddling back with all of my might, and all I was doing was getting farther and farther away. It has a thing for the surfboard. Get on top of that. I'm on there for like a full solid probably 5 minutes before he lets me down, and I can't see anything. Like the waves are hitting my face like knives, and I'm just like, oh god, I really hope I don't slip off. I look towards the shore. I'm still so far away. Like I'm in blue water. Like I'm no longer in that black water that's like you know, like one lone paddleboarder, he's the one who rented us the surfboards, comes out, he's like, looks like you may need a little help. Does it look like I'm struggling that hard? I'm like, no, I think I'm good. I think I got it from here. So he's like, okay, cool. So he just like, you know, stands there, and I'm like, oh, look, I got this. Start paddling, moves nowhere. I'm like, you know what, maybe it would be helpful. And so I get onto the paddleboard, head hung in shame, I'm defeated, and he uses all of his might to paddle me back to shore, and yeah, survived that one. So I can't say I've been surfing. No, if anyone asks me, no, I have not been surfing. Nor do I think I ever will go. So there's that story. Well, after surfing, I was like, I'm just gonna take a chill day, lay around at the beach. It was so windy, I couldn't feel my face at these points. Who knew that the ocean was so cold when the sun is setting? It was beautiful, but it was freaking freezing. I saw some chickens. Then that was New Year's Eve. That night, I went all the way to the beach at nighttime. There was absolutely no fireworks. I think I saw one firework. Like there were a bunch of boats lined up, and I was like, oh, they're all gonna shoot fireworks. Not a single boat shot a single firework. So I don't know what. I think they were broken. They may have all malfunctioned at the same time. Like I heard a lot of noise, commotion, like boo 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 boo, woo, like Happy New Year, whatever. Not a single firework. We were just in darkness. Can't say I wasn't a little bit disappointed about the lack of fireworks. Hawaii, like, come on. Like Honolulu, like, I was really hoping for some fireworks, but it's fine. So then the next day, I had a relaxing morning, sat by the beach for a little bit, played a bit of beach volleyball. That shit's really hard. Like I'm not even good at volleyball to begin with, so like trying to play in the sand was a workout. So I got in my workout for the day. I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna relax. So then I went hiking. I was like, you know, it'll be a chill hike. This mountain, it's called Koko Trail. Koko Hodo sounds like a very delicious drink, so I was like, you know, like I'll have a chill time. Get to the trail. I looked up, and you know, there it was on the mountain. Like, please. That is not a trail. That is not a hiking trail. That is literally Stairmaster, but 4,000 steps. Like, if I wanted to do the Stairmaster, I wouldn't have come on a hike. Like, I wouldn't have come to Hawaii. I would have just stayed at home, you know? Whatever. Apparently the view was really good, so I decided to put on my big boy pants, go up the mountain. My booty do be popping afterward, though, so the view at the top is really cute. I saw a little dog. He dragged his owner up the entire mountain, and I wish that my dog could do that for me, but no, he would probably pass out in the first 10 steps. I saw one girl who was like, she passed me like 4 or 5 times going up and down. She was working out. If you're going to this trail, just know that near the middle, it really is, you see it in people's faces. It's like a mind game. Like they're pushing past a mental limit to keep going. It's like, I'm halfway up, do I keep going or do I go back down? Well, I don't think I would recommend it necessarily unless you're ready for that kind of commitment or you're looking for a booty workout. And that pretty much brings me to the end of my Hawaii trip. There's a few more fun sights that I saw interspersed between. I feel like for the 3 full days that I was there, it was a great experience, and I did a lot, and so it was a very fulfilling trip. And honestly, with all the COVID guidelines, I felt very safe, and people were, you know, social distancing. Restaurants were open. They're not open in LA, so that was kind of nice to be able to dine outside in this beautiful tropical escape. Yeah, it was very much an escape from the cruel reality of work. It was a great way to ring in the new year, and if you're thinking of going to Hawaii for anytime soon, airplane tickets are cheap as hell. I had a great time, and if you have any questions about it, please feel free to reach out to me because I am here to answer all your questions. Me and this girl back here. Can you guess who that is? Do you see it? Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!